it's hard to believe that we are in week 4 of the Great Bible Race. We are in our final week. You guys have one more set of clues to solve and one more secret location to uncover your final treasure box. And so I've enjoyed watching all of your pictures and all the fun that you guys have been having and meeting you at our secret locations in different areas around Newark. And so we're going to recap a little bit because we covered a lot. This whole month was all about uncovering stories in the Old Testament where God challenged some people, asked them to do some things that maybe they weren't certain about during challenging times, that maybe felt big to them. They felt like they were stepping out of their comfort zone. So let's recap a little bit, right? Because we have Noah on week 1, who was challenged to build a big, huge boat and take 2 of every animal and put them in the boat with his family to find dry land because there was going to be a great flood. Noah honored God and built that boat, even though it was hard. On week 2, we learned about the story of the Tower of Babel, where some people thought that, maybe they were going to try to do things their own way and take maybe a shortcut or the easy way out, instead of God following what God wanted them to do, right? And God intervened, and if you remember, God confused their languages, and ultimately, from that story, we can learn that God's way is always the best way, that sometimes God has a better plan. God always has a better plan than what we can think of. And sometimes for us, that's hard to let go of control and to follow God. Then on week 3, we learned about Abraham and how Abraham was asked to pick up his family and travel a great distance to a new location, and he didn't even know what the outcome was going to be like. And that was scary for him, I would imagine. And if you remember, he was around 75 years old when asked to do this task. So, what are we going to talk about today? About a story about a guy named Lot. So we're still in the book of Genesis. And so Lot, after living in Canaan, he was living in the same area as Abraham. So this kind of picks up after the story last week that we learned with Abraham. And he was living there, and things are just getting a little bit tight. If you can imagine, if you're in a house maybe with a lot of people, or if you're on family vacation, maybe you're sharing a room with all your cousins and siblings, and things just get a little tight. And so Lot decided to leave, and he traveled and ended up into a town called Sodom. And in this town, he was a newcomer, and he found out that the town maybe didn't have the nicest people, and there were things going on in that town that just weren't the best. And the people weren't treating people the right way. They weren't honoring God and following God. And Lot wanted to follow God. Lot wanted to honor God. And he was stuck in this city where there were things going on around him that he didn't agree with. Maybe he didn't like it. He wanted to choose the path that God had for them and not the path that the people around him were doing. And so God, in the end, got Lot out of that situation. And I want you to explore this story a little bit more and go through the activities. But in the end, what we really want to remember is that sin in this world, and sometimes life can feel messy. And sometimes we don't always make the best choices. Let's face it, none of us are perfect, and we don't always make the best choices. And sometimes our choices can get us into some messy situations. However, thankfully now we don't live in the Old Testament times because we have Jesus, right? We have an example of someone that lived on this earth. And so we can follow Jesus because Jesus already paid the price for our sins. Jesus saves us. If we remember when we learned a couple months ago all about Jesus and how he saved us and took that price for our sins. And so we can be forgiven, right? Every single day is a new start. Every time we wake up, it's a brand new, clean slate, because that's how God works. God loves us so much that he is always going to be here in the midst of whatever decision we're making, in all of our mess. And so today's double dog dare that I want you to look at is maybe a little messy, a messy situation, but let's check it out.
Double dog dare challenge. Today we're going to make something messy. Now this is considered a science experiment. It's called Oobleck. I don't know if you've ever heard of it before. It's not quite like slime. This is a cool substance that can change its consistency. So it can be a liquid, but it also can be considered a solid. And so all you need is some cornstarch and some water. So you're going to add 2 parts cornstarch to 1 part water. And if you really want to have fun, throw some food coloring in there, make it a cool funky color. As you can see, mine is pink. So this is what it looks like. And so I'm just going to show you. So right now, it's liquid. But when I grab it and put pressure to it, it starts to change its consistency. So I can almost make it into like a little ball and peel it apart like that. But then it also can drip back into a liquid. So this is a really cool sensory activity. You can get little spoons and things and just play with it. Again, it's all drippy and messy and gross. But when you apply pressure, the consistency starts to change. You see, I can kind of grab it. When I'm putting pressure to it, I can roll it into like a little ball. And then I can just drop it. And it gets all yucky, just like slime. So I bet you have these things in your house. Again, just cornstarch and water. And just play around with it. Keep digging your hands in. And then let it fall out and back into a liquid. So that's today's Double Dog Dare Challenge. I dare you to do something fun and messy today. Tape start getting solid. So you can lift it up like this. Right? Gooey, gooey, gooey. And then roll it into a ball. Hold on to it. Put pressure. Look, I can roll it into a ball. And then let it drip.
Well, there you have it. That's our final Double Dog Dare Challenge. Now, I want to leave you with a final family faith challenge. So you've gone through your booklets, which is a summer challenge, has a bunch of different ideas of how you can live out your faith, how you can show kindness to other people and as a family. And I want you to find something in there that allows you to maybe clean up someone's mess, even if it's not in the booklet. Just find if your mom maybe made dinner and there's dishes left over, offer to clean up the dishes. Offer to do that for her. Offer to vacuum for someone. Offer to help, another parent or another relative, maybe a grandparent, with some cleaning up to do, some spring cleaning. A lot of people now are trying to get rid of things as where stores are starting to open up, and we've kind of been in quarantine all these months. So maybe people have things they want to get rid of. Help people clean up their mess, just the way God and Jesus helps us each and every day clean up ours. So that's it. We are coming to an end. I look forward to working with you guys on our future journeys that we'll go on together. But for this great Bible race, we are finally at the end, and I will see you guys at your final destination. I hope you all enjoy your week. Take care.